All right. And now we're going to start the webinar and go live. And I'll count down from 5 and then we'll move from there. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starting the broadcast now. And
good evening, everyone. Good morning to everyone here in Toronto and Canada. Our friends, good evening in India. We are excited to be here with you all. It is the moment we've all been waiting for, the closing ceremonies, the final pitch competition, the questions from the judges, finding out who will be the champion for Together 2022. Let me tell you, it's been an amazing week. Swanee and I and the whole team have been just like amazed by everything that's been contributed here, from the mentors to the partners, to the trainers and the speakers, everyone who's gotten involved. And we've got a great lineup for you today and some really exciting teams to meet and to hear from. And they're all in the backstage right now, getting all ready for their pitches and ready to go. I want to give a big thank you to everyone who's gotten us here. And also to say, you know, it was a tough week in a lot of ways. People had to roll up their sleeves and work and pitch in. And we had to battle through a lot of COVID-related issues with students fighting through it and teams having to be like reassembled on the fly, mentors battling through that. And I'm just so blown away and impressed by the dedication that everybody had to keep going and make it to this point. But we've had 100 teams that have gone through the process, and we've had 81 teams that have like gone through and done the full pitch at the end of the week. And now we have our top 6 for you to meet here today. Swanee, your opening thoughts on the week.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, it's been an amazing journey to see 81 students come together, 81 teams come together. To start with, a very good evening to our audiences from both India and Canada. I'm greatly pleased to give my greetings to all our esteemed guests that we'll have for tonight, and especially the top 6 teams and the judges we have today. We welcome you all with great excitement in our hearts, as Chris mentioned, for the closing ceremony of the second edition of Together series. Initially, when we started this series, was with the intention to support student entrepreneurs in building their ventures and working towards their own dreams. We launched this particular bootcamp on the 14th of October with the purpose of doubling the impact that we created last year. I'm very happy to announce that we had 81 teams this year vis-a-vis 50 teams last year. We also received over 200% more applications than last year, with approximately 22% female representation in the applications received from across the country, that is from 28 states and UTs. DPIT has always led the movement of internationalization of Indian startups and is trying to mobilize resources at every stage of an entrepreneur's journey. The department has always taken proactive measures towards creating a conducive environment for Indian startups to innovate, accelerate, and scale up. Today, the Startup India ecosystem has more than 60,000 startups who are leading the innovation revolution. From e-commerce to electric vehicles, the Indian startups are a torchbearer for innovation and technology in the country. As part of the Startup India confirmation, the government is tapping into cross-border collaboration opportunities with the Canadian startup ecosystem. This particular bootcamp, the Together series, is a testimony to the long-standing relations between the two countries. And Chris, the entire week with these 81 teams and the mentors, and especially the social mixers, has been a beautiful journey.
Thank you, Swanee. It's been a lot of fun. Let's continue, and we'll give a few shout outs and a few highlights here. Continuing on through the presentation. So first of all, Swanee, we want to give a big shout out to the people who are going to be joining us and speaking today. We've got quite the list. We're not going to go through everybody in terms of the detailed bios here, but you'll be meeting them as we go along. And it's a really incredible group, including top entrepreneurs, venture leaders, representatives of our respective governments. And we're going to hear some interesting stories and a continuing set of entrepreneurial tips and lessons along the way for the student audience that's participating. We have had 400 students all working together this week online. What a world we're in, that can be done remote with no travel and no flying back and forth across the world and getting to become friends and get to know each other. It's a 7-day boot camp, as many of you know, at the Schulich School of Business, the #1 MBA in Canada, one of the top ranked MBAs in the world. We're really proud to have helped to organize this and put this together from a training perspective. And we've had a great deal of fun. let's introduce you to some of the other key contributors. These were our trainers that got together, many of them Schulich alumni or instructors, but also some incredible contributors in terms of like pitch trainers as well, who were literally up this morning at the crack of dawn as we announced the final 6 teams last night, doing final preparations and guiding the team. So special shout out to all the trainers and to our early morning pitch coaches as well. Ajay from Startup Reso, Rama from GMR, and Ben, who was on Icelandic time. So I think he was up at 4 or 3 a.m. in the morning helping the teams out as well too. So moving right along, we also want to give a big shout out to the mentors. 200 mentors all coming together from across the planet. 100 mentors from Canada, 100 mentors from India, working together in pairs, supporting the students. The outpouring of love that we received from the students for the work that the mentors did to guide them and support them and help them out throughout the journey on so many levels was incredible. To our partners, we want to say a big thank you as well too. I'll start off by saying thank you to the City of Toronto and also to the Consul General of India in Toronto. Really incredible seed partners, both of whom a year ago when we started 2021 immediately said, yes, let's do this. Let's back you up. Let's support you and help you to make it a reality. Key sector corporate partners in Titus One and Startup Visa Services, who really helped us with our pricing in terms of stepping up to get the students the financial support with the top 2 teams coming out of the competition today. And we'll talk about that more later. And Swanee, some incredible resource partners as well too. We should give them a shout out.
Absolutely, Chris. We couldn't have done this without our resource partners and our incubation partners. Amazon Web Services, Zoho, Freshworks, TechPie, Truecaller, Vakil Search, and Pitch Tech came forward in just one meeting, and they were more than happy to support the students and especially our incubation partners as well from various universities such as iCreate, Startup Pro, so AIC, BIMTech, KIT, Lucknow, and Amity. We couldn't have asked for more better partners.
We also want to say a big thank you to our community partners who rallied a lot of support for us in terms of the mentorship base. And we're going to give a special announcement from the Indo-Canada Chamber of Commerce at the end of the night with something special that their board of directors has brought to the table as well at the last minute for us. And some of our additional partners in Y-Space, Lassonde, Style Photos, and who are doing photo shoots for the Schulich students who did their awesome work supporting the teams from India, and also Indochino, Drew Green and his company providing brand new suits for the students as well too from Canada for their support with the Indian students. Okay, let's continue on. And we're going to come now to our opening remarks, which are recorded. So I'm going to throw over to our digital DJ Vito to bring up the Mayor of Toronto. But first, a quick introduction. Mayor John Tory is the 65th mayor. His worship, John Tory, 65th mayor in the history of Toronto. He has been with his team an incredible supporter of this program from day one. There was it was within 24 hours that they stepped up from hearing the idea and said, let's do this and make this happen. And he has shown leadership not only through the pandemic, but also as a champion with deep understanding of what Toronto can be on the world stage from an innovation and startup and technology perspective that has really made the city come alive under his leadership and grow in terms of its presence on that front in the world. So Vito, my friend, digital DJ, I'm going to pass it over to you to bring us the remarks from the mayor.
Hello, Mayor John Tory here, extending my warmest greetings to everyone joining from Canada and from India. The City of Toronto is a strong supporter of the Together 2022 program, forging new connections between the Toronto and Indian innovation economies. And in this second year of the program, I understand it has already doubled in size. Incredible. Schulich and York have been leaders throughout the pandemic, designing ways for young innovators and entrepreneurs to team up and to contribute to building solutions to pressing global issues. The past week of bootcamp training has hopefully prepared you in understanding the ins and the outs of how to present and position your business for success. And one team will be named the Together 2022 champion. I'd like to acknowledge Startup India as a principal partner for Together 2022. There were countless hours dedicated to coordinate this initiative across 2 time zones, and I would like to congratulate the teams who made this possible. It's amazing to see Canadian mentors, with so many of them, of course, from Toronto, and Indian mentors coming together and teaming up in pairs to support the student teams from India, along with the support from students from Schulich, from York University, and from others supporting post-secondary institutions. Toronto is a global city, and it's recognized for its multi-sector innovation and deep pool of diverse tech professionals. Toronto's pool of tech talent has grown at a very fast pace, fostering an ecosystem that enables emerging and mature technology companies to flourish. And the city's strong financial services sector and Canada's immigration policies also to help to fuel this growth. Toronto is also alive with enablers of innovation, with over 70 incubators and accelerator programs to support startups, not only in tech, but across a range of sectors. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, has been hard on Toronto's economy like everywhere else, and has brought to light the extent to which all sectors of the economy depend heavily on a vast supply chain of technology companies to meet their unique needs. COVID-19 has also highlighted an acute need for organizations in all sectors to adopt new technologies to modernize their services, and that's created tremendous potential for Toronto's technology sector with the right supports to capitalize on these opportunities. India and the Indian diaspora hold a special place in the fabric of Toronto's culture and economy, including our technology sector. So we're always ready and excited to welcome Indian technology companies looking for North American expansion opportunities in areas like AI, fintech, cybersecurity, and many more. One such example is Paytm. It made the jump to Toronto in recent years. Here at the city, we are committed to strengthening ties with India. Together 2022 is a great example of that. We look forward to continuing our mutually beneficial relationships by building linkages, accessing business opportunities, and fostering the growth of our respective economies. So good luck to all of the finalists on their upcoming pitches. I hope everything goes really well. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mayor John Tory. Toronto is regarded as one of the top startup ecosystems in the world, and we are glad to be working with the City of Toronto on initiatives that ignite young minds to innovate and contribute to our economies by creating jobs instead of seeking them.
Thanks, Wani, and was great to hear from the mayor. He's a major supporter, and next time we're with him, we're going to give him a big thanks for joining us today. All right, with that, we are going to introduce our championship round judges, and Swani, you'll kick off with the team from India, and then I'll introduce the team from Toronto, Canada.
Thanks, Chris. We're very excited to have 6 judges with us here today, evaluating the top 6 teams that we have out of the 81 teams that were part of the running. We have Mr. Vijeta Shastri, Executive Director, TIE Bangalore. TIE Bangalore is a not-for-profit organization that promotes global entrepreneurship via mentorship, education, networking, incubation, and investment. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Mr. Shastri.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We also have with us Mr. Gautam Siva Ramakrishnan, Director, Head Start Network Foundation. Head Start Network Foundation is a volunteer-driven not-for-profit dedicated to entrepreneurship. In fact, Mr. Gautam started his career with Deloitte, a Big Four accounting firm, and holds the coveted title of a CA as well as Bachelor's in Commerce from the University of Madras. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Gautam.
A pleasure, Swan.
We also have Mr. Sandro Stephen, VP Indian Agent Network. Mr. Sandro Stephen began his career with Max New Life Insurance after graduating from Guru Jambeshwar University, James Delhi, and then moved on to work with Airtel. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Mr. Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me over.
And lastly, we have the 4th judge from India, Mr. Abhishek Sethi, founder Grad Capital. Mr. Sethi is an alum of the premium institution of the country, including BITS Pilani and the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. He has also been associated with various prestigious institutions like BARC, Yale University, and Walt Disney in different capacities till 2020, before co-founding Grad Capital, a pan-Asian student-driven institution that supports daring student entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Mr. Sethi, for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you so much to all the Indian judges. Over to you, Chris. Why don't we have a glimpse of our Canadian judges?
Thanks, Wani. And it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our two Canadian judges as part of the panel. First, I'm excited to welcome and say thank you to Arati Sharma, the founder of Backbone Angels. And Arati recently was in the news as the NACO Angel of the Year. NACO is the National Angel Investor Capital Association in the country. And so she was named as the Angel of the Year. And that's for her excellent work supporting a whole set of young and up and coming companies. Arati previously was the co-founder of a skincare company called Glee, and also was a senior leader with Shopify, where she was part of helping from the very early stages of the business in joining that team and helping guide many of the key strategic decisions they made. And she's awesome, a brilliant mind, and we're really excited to have her here with us today. Welcome, Arati.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. And next, I'm pleased to welcome Naaman Badeo, who is a partner at Antler Canada. And Antler Canada is part of the Antler Global Network, an incredible accelerator and venture fund program for young up and coming startups at the inception stage. Getting them up and off the ground. Naaman was selected after an extensive search to be one of two GPs to lead the Antler Canada business, and their first cohort is just launching, coming up in the next couple of weeks. Previous to that, Naaman was the founder of FlightNetwork.com, which was one of and continues to be one of Canada's largest online travel agencies, a team of over 600 people, 7 offices, and over 1 billion in sales a year, supporting millions of customers. And now Naaman continues to be a very active angel investor as well too, and as well as guiding Antler. Naaman, welcome.
Great, thank you, Chris. Excited to be here and looking forward to meeting the founders.
All right, so there's our judges and startups. They're all friendly, nice people. So just, they're going to ask you good questions, but they're here and excited to meet you and very supportive. So get ready to have some fun with them here today. And with that, we're ready to roll. So first company up on stage is BhuGoal. I am not going to do an intro for the company because that's in their hands.